Hello everyone, today I will be reviewing City Lights. So City Lights was directed and starring Charlie Chaplin, and actually Charlie Chaplin really had a lot of input in this film. He actually wrote it, he produced it, he edited it, and he also did some of the music as well. So Charlie Chaplin plays his tramp character in this film, and the tramp falls in love with this blind girl that sells flowers, and at the same time the tramp also helps this drunken millionaire, he helps the drunk millionaire save his life, and he also ends up borrowing his car and borrowing some money from him as well, because the millionaire is obviously very rich. And what happens is the tramp ends up using the car to end up making the flower girl believe his witch. Obviously the flower girl is blind, so she doesn't realise it. But anyway, that's how the story follows basically. So the tramp character has a bit of a dilemma about what to do. I mean, he doesn't want to be dishonest, but also he loves the blind flower girl. So what does he do? So if you know anything about Charlie Chaplin, you will know that he is the king of the silent era of films. Really, with the silent era of films, it was Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. Those are the two main guys. And this film actually came out in 1931, which was a few years after the end of the silent era. But Charlie Chaplin felt that his tramp character wouldn't work with a sound film, so he decided to make this film as a silent film. I've got to say, I think he made the right decision because it really works, and the kind of character the tramp is, it's all about the body language, it's all about the movement, it's all very physical, and you don't really need dialogue in this film to make it work. Now, since it's a silent film, I say it's a silent film, it does have music, and there are certain sounds that they add in. For instance, there's a scene where the tramp gets a whistle stuck inside him and he's making this whistling sound all the time, and there's another scene where a gun is fired and you hear a gunshot. So there's a few little bits like that, but really it's mostly silent, and sometimes the characters look like they're talking, but obviously we don't actually hear what they're saying. But occasionally you'll get text come up on the screen saying what they're saying, but it's not really very much during the film that we get that. It's only the really necessary moments where what's said is really important. This film is often thought to be Charlie Chaplin's best film, and is often actually thought to be the best silent film of all time. In fact, the American Film Institute actually named it the number one greatest romantic comedy of all time in a list in 2008. Now, if you can call it a rom-com, I suppose then yes, it's not necessarily a the sort of rom-com you would expect it to be, in that it's more of a comedy than a romance film. And by comedy, it's very slapstick, it's very physical, very silly film from a comedy aspect. But I've got to say, I thought it was very funny, and I laughed a lot during this film. And this is actually the first silent film that I've ever seen, and I was very impressed by it. And there are so many scenes in this film which are actually laugh out loud funny. When I say laugh out loud, I actually laughed out loud. I mean, there's moments in this film what I thought were so funny, not just moments that make you sort of smile and chuckle a little bit, but actually laugh out loud funny. That was how brilliant some of the scenes are in this film. My favourite scene in the film is there's a boxing match between the Tramp character and another guy, and the Tramp doesn't really want to fight the guy. He's only taking part in the match so he can get some money to help pay the blind girl's rent. So what he does, he's hiding behind the referee during the whole boxing match, and they're all sort of dancing around in synchronization, and it's all very well done. It's almost like a dance, the way that they're moving. What a Tramp character does, sort of ducks behind the referee to punch the other guy quickly, and then move back behind the referee again, and all that sort of thing. And yeah, that's my favourite scene. And the scene at the start is very good as well. When you see at the start, there's people in town about to unveil this monument, and the tramp is sleeping on the monument, and he wakes up, and then he gets his trousers stuck on part of the monument, and it's all very funny. And then the American national anthem, Star Spangled Banner, starts playing, and he has to make himself comfortable while listening to that. But you have to watch it, it's not what I mean, but it's very funny, and yeah, it's classic Charlie Chaplin. So if you've never seen a silent movie before, I'm sure a lot of you might not have done, then I think this is the best one to start off with, because This is the first silent film I saw. I was very impressed with it. I laughed a lot. I had so much fun with it. It really was a fantastic first silent film for me to watch. So I'd recommend it. I know obviously not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone may be into silent films. With all films we've got nowadays, it can be a bit apprehensive to go back and watch something like this. I mean, some people don't even want to watch black and white films, let alone silent films. And this film came out a long time ago. But it's supposed to be one of the best silent films, and I thought it was very good. So yeah, I recommend it. If you would like to watch a silent film, go and watch City Lights. One thing that I must say about this film is that the ending is superb. It's a perfect way to end the film. Now, I'm not going to say what the ending is because I don't want to spoil it, but it's probably the best bit of the film. It ends just the way it should, and there's nothing I would change about the ending at all. But it wraps up the story very nicely. It's almost been building up to it. You can see the Tramp character, what you want to happen during the film, and it just ends it in the perfect way. Not much more to say really, but yeah, watch it the whole way through. You understand what I mean, and I'm sure you will agree with me on that. In terms of what I didn't like about this film, really there's not very much, but I don't like it as much as a lot of the other films which I've seen recently, which are more recent films, which are, well, not only do they have sound, but they're also in colour as well. So I do tend to be more slightly biased towards the films that are in colour that you can watch, like you watch when new films come out today. So I know it's hard to compare since this was a different time, but I probably don't like it as much as more recent films simply because it's a silent film, which I know probably doesn't sound fair. But as a silent film, it's absolutely fantastic. It was better than I expected, but I don't like it in general as much as films that have sound in it. So in terms of a rating for this film, how much do I like it? I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because I think as a silent movie, for the first silent movie that I watched, I think it is a very good start and very good, very enjoyable, and the comedy aspect of it, the slapstick, the Charlie Chaplin, all absolutely fantastic. So City Lights, guys. So what do you think? Have you seen it? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.